Welcome to Namaste with Trey. My name is Tracy, or Trey, as my friends and family lovingly like to call me, and it would be my honor and pleasure to guide you through today's 60-minute Vinyasa flow. So grab your mat, your towel, a bottle of water, maybe light a candle or burn an incense. Set the mood for today's practice and meet me at the back of your mat in Child's Pose.
We're going to begin with our knees spread wide, big toes touching, forehead down on the mat, arms reached out in front of us. Just beginning to breathe. We're going to go ahead and start activating our child's pose, tenting our palms, lifting our wrists, getting a deeper stretch, and then slowly beginning to walk our hands up and over to the right side, getting a deeper stretch in the left side body, maybe taking a half bind, reaching your right hand up and over into the left hip crease. Release the bind if you went ahead and took it, and begin to walk your hands back to center, and then up and over to the left hand side, getting a deep stretch in the right side body, and taking the same variation you took on the first side, maybe taking that half bind, releasing your half bind if you took it, and walking your hands back to center. On your next inhale, meet me in tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and begin to take your wrist stretches. Your palms face your knees, rocking back and forth, getting a nice stretch in those wrists, maybe taking a downward dog if that feels right. Always remembering to listen to your body. Now taking those counter wrist stretches, we're going to go ahead and flip the palms to face the sky, wiggling our fingers, rocking back and forth, maybe bending your elbows. Release your wrist stretches and sit back onto your heels, interlacing your fingertips, palms facing out, rounding your spine, chin to chest. On your next inhale, rise up, shoulders away from your ears. Lower your hands to cradle the back of your head, chest open. Exhale, round forward, chin to chest. Inhale, gaze up, chest open, elbows wide. Exhale, round forward, chin to chest. One more, chest up, gaze up. Begin to slowly cactus your arms down, back into tabletop, and begin to pat out your feet. Walking your hands out forward, meet me in puppy pose. Forehead down to the mat, or chin if you want a bit deeper of a stretch. Always remembering to breathe. If you're not breathing, it's not yoga. Slowly begin to release your puppy pose, lowering your belly onto the mat into Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders, shoulders away from your ears, palms flat on the mat. Activate your Sphinx into seal by rising your elbows up off the mat. Slowly lower your chin to your chest and shift your eye gaze over your right shoulder. Lower your neck back down to your chest and shift your eye gaze up and over to your left. Back to center, lower your elbows, come flat on your mat, and prepare for your 3 sets of Cobra. With your hands under your shoulders, on your next inhale, rise up, eye gaze forward, lifting your hands up off the mat if that's available to you, taking small sips of air. One last sip of air, reach a little bit higher and release. Forehead back on the mat. Walk your hands, the handprint down, open your feet hip width apart, and on your next inhale, rise up with bent elbows, shoulders away from your ears, eye gaze up. One last sip of air, reach a little bit higher and release. Forehead back on your mat. Third set to Yogi's Choice. If you're with me, it's an upward facing dog. And on your next inhale, rise up, elbows straight, shoulders away from your ears, eye gaze up. Slowly begin to lower back down onto your mat and sit back into child's pose. On your next inhale, rise back up into tabletop. Begin to reach your right arm forward, swing it back up and around for your shoulder circles, following your eye gaze with your hand, making it a full body movement, moving as fast or as slow as you'd like. And when you feel ready, reverse the direction. On your next revolution, pause at the top of your rotation and twist a little bit further into your upper back. And on your exhale, thread your needle. Reach your left arm to the top of your mat. And if you'd like to take a half bind, reach your left arm over to your right hip crease. Amplifying it a bit more, lift your left leg up into the sky, making sure the weight is at the back of your head and your eye gaze is up to the sky. Slowly begin to release, undoing your bind and reaching your right arm back up into the sky and coming back into tabletop. Reach your left arm forward, back up and around for your shoulder circles. Again, moving as fast or as slow as you'd like, getting a full range of movement in your left shoulder. And whenever you feel ready, reverse the direction. On this next revolution, pause at the top for a deeper stretch. And on your exhale, thread your needle. Bring your right arm to the top of your mat. And if you'd like to take the same variation as the other side, take your right arm to your left hip crease. Sweep your right leg up to the sky, making sure the weight is on the back of your head, eye gaze to the sky. Slowly begin to release, lowering your right leg down and sweeping your left arm back up to the sky, meeting back in tabletop. Tuck your toes and meet me in downward facing dog. You can find stillness or pedal out your feet, whatever your body needs. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg back and up and begin to move your right leg organically. Move your leg in circles, bend and straighten your leg. Remember to reverse the direction. Listen to your body. On your next exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, right leg back and up. Exhale, right foot in between both hands. Low lunge. And on your inhale, rise up. High lunge. Shoulders away from your ears. Right knee stacked over your right ankle. Left quad engaged. Lower halfway down. Activate your core. Lower your left hand by your right foot and sweep your right arm up into the sky. Coming onto the blade side edges of your feet for an IT band stretch. Sweep your right arm up over your head. Taking your hip dips if you want to take it a step further. Bring your right hand back down to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back into plank. Shift forward, lower halfway down, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg back and up and move your leg organically, finding circles or stillness, reversing the direction. Left leg back and up, knee to nose, round forward. Left leg back and up. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, round forward. One more, left leg back and up. Exhale, left foot in between both hands. Low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. High lunge. Shoulders away from your ears. Left knee stacked over your left ankle. Right quad engaged. Lowering halfway down, activating your core and hold. Drop your right hand by your left foot and sweep your left arm up into the sky and twist. Coming onto the blade side edges of your feet for that IT band stretch. Again, taking your hip dips if you want to take it a step further. Dropping your left hand back to frame your left foot. Stepping your left foot back into plank. Shifting forward, lowering halfway down, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly rise up onto your tippy toes and take baby steps to the top of your mat. And once your feet meet your hands, hang heavy. Grab elbows, sway side to side, find stillness. Release your elbows. Inhale, gaze out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gaze out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to heart center and slowly roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Rise your arms up into the sky and find your back bend. Rise back up. Swan dive your arms back down into forward fold. Step your right foot back. Left foot back, high plank. Shift forward, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, right foot in between both hands. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Untuck your toes and sweep your arms up into the sky, shoulders away from your ears. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and reach over to your right hand side. If you want to take it a step further, you can drop your right hand down to the floor. Hips square forward. Deep side stretch. Arms back to center. And find your low back bend of choice. If you're with me, interlace your fingers behind your back. Lean forward, eye gaze up, and hold for the next 5 breaths. Slowly begin to release. Frame your right foot with both hands. Pop your left foot back and up a couple feet, closing off your hips and finding pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Hips straight, knees can be bent. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Walking your hands over to your right hand side, finding your standing steer. Knees straight. If you'd like a deeper variation, center your left hand and reach your right arm up and twist. Lower your right hand back down. Walk your hands back over to frame your right foot. Come onto your left tippy toes. Flex your right foot. Sweep your right leg back and up. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, inhale, back and up. Exhale, left foot in between both hands. Lower your right knee down. Untuck your toes. Sweep your arms up into the sky. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and reach up and over to your left. Dropping your left arm down to the floor if you want a deeper variation. Getting a deep stretch in your right side body. Back to center for our low lunge back bend variation. If you're with me, interlace your hands behind your back and arch forward. Eye gaze up into the sky, holding for the next 5 breaths. Begin to release. Frame your left foot with both hands. Pop your right leg back and up into pyramid pose. Hips square forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Begin to walk your hands up over to your left for standing steer, knees straight. If you'd like a deeper variation, center your right hand and reach your left arm up into the sky. Release your left hand back down. Walk your hands back to frame your left foot. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Flex your left foot. Sweep your left leg up into the sky. Downward facing dog. Shift your eye gaze forward. Walk, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to heart center and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, reaching the arms up into the sky. Lengthen up out of your spine and begin to reach over to your right for a deep side stretch, gazing up into the sky, back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach up and over to your left. Feeling that deep stretch in your right side body. Gazing up under your right arm. Back to center. Inhale, lengthen, and find your back bend. Rise up, swan dive your arms down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Walk, hop, or step to the back of your mat. Shift forward, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sweep your right leg back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Place your right foot in between both hands. Left foot 45 degrees. Left heel down. Sweep your arms up. Warrior one. Right knee over right ankle. Hips square forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Cactus your arms down. Interlace your fingers behind your back for a back bend. On your exhale, forward fold, humble warrior. Shoulders up over your head. Breathing into that deep shoulder stretch. Begin to release your bind and lower your left hand down, right arm up for an awkward twist. Making sure that left heel is still grounded onto the floor. Twist a little bit deeper on your exhale. Release your right hand down. Walk your hands up and over to your left for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Begin to walk your hands off the mat into hammock pose, arching your belly in between your thighs. Breathing deep. Allowing your head to hang heavy in between your arms. We're going to reverse the pose, so slowly begin to walk your hands back in between your legs, palms facing the same direction, elbows in. It might feel like you're about to tip over, but just trust yourself that you will not. Making sure we can always hear ourselves breathe. Our breath is the most important part of our practice. Walking your hands back to center. Center your right hand in between your chest and sweep your left arm up to the sky. If you would like to bind, you can take your left arm around to your right hip crease, making sure your hips stay level. If you'd like to take it another step further, you can take your right hand to your left ankle, or a double bind, you can reach your left arm to your right ankle and twist. Release your bind and walk your hands back to center, and we're going to take it to the other side. Center your left hand in between your chest and sweep your right arm up to the sky. If you'd like to bind, reach your right arm back and over to your left hip crease. You can grab your right ankle with your left hand, and for a double bind, you can grab your left ankle with your right arm. Release your bind and walk your hands back to center. Walk your hands back to the top of your mat to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back into high plank. Shift forward, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your inhale, sweep your left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your left foot in between both hands. Right foot comes to a 45-degree angle. Arms sweep up, warrior one. Rounding that right heel down onto your mat. Stacking your left knee over your left ankle. Shoulders away from your ears. Remembering to breathe. Begin to cactus down your arms, interlacing your fingers behind your back for a slight back bend, eye gaze up. On your next exhale, release into humble warrior, folding forward, stretching your shoulders up over your head. Making sure your right heel stays grounded. Breathe. Release your bind, dropping your right hand to meet your left foot and reaching your left arm up into the sky, taking a little bit deeper of a twist. Again, making sure that right heel is grounded onto your mat. Release and walk your hands over to your right for another wide-legged forward fold. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up with a flat back. We're going to take another shoulder stretch, so interlace your fingers behind your back once more. Take a slight back bend, and on your exhale, fold forward. Again, reaching your arms up over your head, allowing your arms to hang heavy towards the mat. If your shoulders are tight, you can always grab a strap or towel to make this bind more accessible. Slowly begin to release your bind. Bring your hands back onto your mat. Look forward. Bring your hands back to your hips and slowly rise back up with a flat back. Heels in, toes out for a goddess squat. Palms facing up. Sit deep into your thighs and hold. We're going to take a few gentle pulses. Begin to lift your right heel and your left heel. Hold for a couple more seconds and release. Arms sweep up and swan dive forward. Walk your hands back to the top of your mat to frame your left foot. Step your left foot to meet your right foot, high plank. Shift forward, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg back up into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, warrior two. Place your right foot in between both hands. Left foot 45 degrees. Cartwheel your arms up to reach in opposite directions. And then deep into that right knee stacked over right ankle. Moving into our 3 pumping warriors. Inhale, straighten your right knee, arms rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. To exalt your warrior, flip your right palm to face the sky. Reach forward, up, bend over your back leg. Restacking your warrior two, we're going to come into our extended side angle. Right elbow comes onto your knee, or maybe placing your right hand on your block, shin, or ground. Extend your left arm up over your head. You could stay here, find a yogi's choice. You can bind your left arm around your back to grab your right arm. You can find your bird of paradise, your standing splits. It's completely up to you. With whatever variations you chose, start thinking about your exit strategy. And we're going to meet in a low lizard lunge. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot out a little bit further towards your right. Lower your left knee. And if you want a little bit further, lower down onto your elbows. You can also come onto the blade side edges of your right foot. Another way to increase this pose is to tuck your left toes, activating your left quad, getting a deeper stretch. Again, this is completely optional. We store a lot of stress in our hips, so these hip openers are extremely beneficial for all of us. We're going to turn this into a quad stretch, coming back onto your hands if you were on your elbows, reaching your right arm back up and over to grab your left foot. And to amplify, coming back onto your elbows if that feels good. Release your left foot, and we're going to shift into a forearm side plank, placing your right foot on top of your left foot, sweeping your right arm up to the sky, making sure our hips are nice and lifted. Begin to lower your right forearm down into forearm plank, hips in line with shoulders, core tight, remembering to breathe. Shift your weight into your right forearm, sweeping your left arm up to the sky, lifting your hips up, coming into a right side forearm plank. Release your left forearm back to meet your right in another forearm plank. And again, hold. Strong core, hips in line with shoulders. Holding for just a few more seconds. And then releasing into child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. This is also a good opportunity to have a sip of water, pat down your sweat, regain control of your breath. Whenever you're ready, we're going to rise back up into tabletop and find our cat-cows. Inhale, arch your back, touch your toes, eye gaze up. Exhale, round your spine, eyes to thighs. Inhale, gaze up, arch your back. Exhale, eyes to thighs. Take a few more of these at your own pace. And when you're ready, switch it into dancing lion. A free body movement. Just listen to your body. There's no right or wrong way to move. And whenever you're satisfied, meet me back in tabletop. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, warrior two. Left foot in between both hands. Right foot 45 degrees. Arms cartwheel out, both arms reaching strongly in opposite directions. Left knee over left ankle. Right foot at a 45 degrees. And hold. Shifting into our pumping warriors. Straighten your left knee, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Begin to flip your left palm, exalting our warrior, reaching up and over your right leg, getting a deep stretch in your left side body. Begin to release, coming into our extended side angle. Left elbow onto your knee or left hand onto a block, shin, or the floor. Extend your right arm up. You could stay here or find your yogi's choice. You can bind, find your bird of paradise, standing split. The decision is completely up to you. Remembering, even if you fall out of a pose, It's part of the process, and just pick up where you left off. Begin to find your exit strategy and meeting me in your low lizard lunge. Hands on the inside of your left foot, heel toeing your left foot out to the side, lowering down onto your elbows if that feels comfortable, coming onto the blade side edge of your left foot. If you want to activate the pose, tuck your right toes. Just breathing into this deep hip stretch, releasing any tension, any stress, any worry. Leave it here on the mat. If you took your quad stretch on the other side, begin to reach your left arm back around to grab your right foot. Maybe lowering down onto your elbow if you want a deeper variation. Release your right foot, coming into another side plank variation, stacking your left foot on top of your right, reaching your left arm up to the sky, hips up, and hold. Begin to lower your left forearm down onto the mat into another forearm plank. Core activated, hips in line with shoulders. Breathe. Shift your weight into your left forearm, sweep your right arm up, side plank, hips up. Release your right forearm down, forearm plank, and hold. Release your forearm plank and sit back into another child's pose or seated rock position. Coming back to our breath, coming back to our intentions. Begin to take a gentle side twist, shifting our eye gaze over your right shoulder, left hand on your right knee, back to center, and up and over to your left. Release your twist, coming back into tabletop, preparing for your grasshopper. Bend your elbows, shift forward, forehead or chin on the mat, arch your spine. If you want a deeper variation, you can tuck your toes, remembering to breathe. If your knees are lifted, gently lower them back down onto your mat and come back into tabletop. Extend your right arm forward, left leg back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one, lengthen. Exhale, knee down, half moon. Pivot your right foot off the mat. Sweep your left arm up to the sky and flex your left foot fiercely to the back of the room. If you want to stay, you could stay, or if you'd like to play, you can grab your left foot with your right arm, or take a big toe bind. Release whatever variation you took, lowering your left leg to the back of your mat. Extend your left arm up over your head. And slowly begin to rise up and exalt, stretching back up over your left leg. Begin to rise, cartwheeling your hands back down onto your mat, tucking your left toes, bringing your right knee to your chest, and sweeping your right leg back and up. Downward facing dog. Lowering back down to tabletop, preparing for your second set of grasshopper. Shifting forward, bending your elbows, lowering your chin or forehead down to the mat, either staying or taking the same variation you took the first time. If your legs are extended off the mat, gently lower them back down, coming back into tabletop, reaching your left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more, lengthen. Exhale, knee down, half moon. Left hand on the mat, right arm sweeps up, right leg flexed fiercely towards the back of the room. If you'd like to stay, you could stay, or if you'd like to play, find whatever variation feels right. Gently release whatever variation you chose, lowering your right leg to the back of your mat, extending your right arm up over your head, and rising up and back to exalt, feeling that deep stretch in your left side body. Cartwheeling your hands down, tucking your right toes, tucking your left knee into your chest, sweeping your left leg back up into the sky, downward facing dog. Shift your eye gaze forward, walk, hopper, jump to the top of your mat, feet together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms back and up, chair pose, shoulders away from your ears. If you look down, you should be able to see your big toes peeking past your knees, tucking your pelvis. Lower your hands to heart center, and on your exhale, twist your left elbow over your right knee, keeping your knees parallel to one another, getting a deep twist within your spine. Shift your eye gaze towards the top of your mat. Flamingo your left heel to your glute, and slowly extend your left leg back. If it's more comfortable, you can lower your left knee down onto your mat and get a deeper twist. Remembering that every time we inhale, we lengthen, and when we exhale, we go a little bit deeper. Release your twist. Frame your right foot with both hands. Lower your left knee down onto your mat and sit back into your half or full splits. Remembering we always want to square our hips forward. Breathe into the pose. The more you breathe, the deeper you breathe, the more your body will let you in. To release, tuck your left toes, sweep your right leg back and up, and find some movement. If you'd like to find your dancer's bridge, gaze under your left armpit, flip your right leg up and over, back bend. Release your right hand back down onto your mat, sweep your right leg back and up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, starfish, right leg kicks out to your left, arch your spine. Lower your left hand back down to the mat, take an optional scissor push-up, right side pigeon pose, right knee behind right wrist, right foot behind left wrist. Square your hips forward. Inhale, lengthen, sit up a bit taller. And when you're ready, fold forward. To come out of your pigeon, slowly walk back up onto your hands, tuck your left toes, sweep your right leg back and up, find some movement, downward facing dog. Eye gaze forward, walk, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms back and up for your second set of chair pose. Eye gaze up, shoulders away from your ears, pelvis tucked in. Breathe. Bring your hands to heart center and slowly begin to twist your right elbow over your left knee for that deep side twist, lengthening from your spine. Shift your eye gaze forward to the top of your mat. Begin to flamingo your right heel to your glute and slowly extend your right leg back. Again, lowering your right knee if that feels more comfortable. Holding in your twist. Remembering to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit further. Release your twist and frame your left foot with both hands. Lower your right knee. Shift your weight back into your hips for your half or full split. Remembering to square off your hips. And remembering to breathe into the discomfort. To release, we're going to tuck our right toes and sweep our left leg back and up. Get a little bit more movement back into that left leg. For your dancer's bridge, look under your right armpit, flip your left leg up and over, back bend. Release your left hand back to the ground, sweep your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Kick your left leg out to the side, starfish. Drop your right hand back to the mat, optional scissor push-up. Left side pigeon. Left knee behind left wrist, left foot behind right wrist, hips squared. Lengthen through your upper body. And when you're ready, fold forward. To release, come up to your hands, tuck your right toes, sweep your left leg back and up, find some movement, and meet me in downward facing dog. Eye gaze forward, walk, hop, or step to seated at the top of your mat, legs reached out forward. Move the fleshy padding away from your sits bones. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Slowly begin to rise up, reaching your arms straight forward and see curving your spine one vertebra at a time down to your mat. Shavasana. Bring both knees into your chest, grabbing opposite elbows, giving yourself a nice big hug. Maybe rocking side to side, massaging your lower back. Drop your left leg down to the mat, keeping your right knee hugged in tight. Really feeling that compression. When you're ready, begin to drop your right knee over to your left, leaving your right shoulder on your mat and extending your right arm out to the side. Shifting your eye gaze to your right and feeling that deep belly twist. Back to center and switch legs. Right leg out, left knee in, hug tight. Drop your left knee over to your right, leaving your left shoulder on your mat. Reach your left arm out, eye gaze to your left, twist. Release, back to center, hug both knees tight. Maybe rock side to side one more time. Extend both your arms and legs straight up to the sky to 90-degree angles. Point and flex your feet. Letting your blood flow down your legs. This is great for any inflammation. You could stay here or rock up into your shoulder stand. You want to make sure your feet stack over your hips and not over your head. Bring your hands to your lower back for further support. If you'd like, you can slowly drop your feet over your head into plow pose. Maybe even taking it one step further, bending your knees and finding deaf man's. Slowly begin to release and roll down your spine one vertebra at a time, finding yourself in your final Shavasana. Take up as much room as you need on the mat and relax every muscle in your body. Please feel free to stay in your final Shavasana as long as you'd like. This is your practice, and you've earned this final rest. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. I'd like to thank you for showing up for yourself. I know showing up is oftentimes the hardest part, but you've done it, and I'm proud of you. Namaste.